Hola, Kellen. Espero que estés disfrutando de sus vacaciones. I sent you a link to the video from class, but for some reason, I'm not getting any sound. I don't know what happened. Nonetheless, I think these videos are going to be better because they're going to be shorter. On this video, I want to go over the vocabulary with you, el vocabulario. And I know you have Quizlet, but sometimes the pronunciation on Quizlet is not 100%. So, and also this will force you to go over the vocabulary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the words 2 times. The first time, just listen to it and then hit the pause button, repeat it. And then then the second time, repeat it with me. Okay. All right, here goes. I'm going to share PowerPoint with you. So, and let me run it. Okay, and this is vocabulary de capítulo 1A. Y 1A se llama ¿Qué haces en la escuela? What do you do in school? So the vocab is going to be all about items at school or things you do at school. And it's also going to focus on things you should do and things that are forbidden that you shouldn't do. So we have hay que y se prohíbe. So let's get started here. And the first section is to talk about what you do in class. So, aprender de memoria. Aprender de memoria. To memorize. And I am not going to translate each one of them. You can turn to your vocabulary page in your book. I'm only going to be doing the ones that are not obvious, but some of them are very obvious, like materiales, material. Okay. Contestar. Contestar. This is to answer. Dar un discurso. Dar un discurso. This is to give a speech. Discutir. Discutir. Explicar. Explicar. Hacer una pregunta. Hacer una pregunta. This is to ask a question. Contestar is to answer, but hacer una pregunta is to ask a question. El informe. El informe. This is the report. So a lot of people get this mixed up and they translate it as information. No, información is information. Y el informe is a report. El laboratorio. El laboratorio. La palabra. La palabra. And I imagine que tu primera palabra en español fue ¿qué? Hola. Pedir ayuda. Pedir ayuda. Tú necesitas pedir ayuda en la clase de español. Pedir ayuda is ask for help. And my sentence was, you need to ask for help in Spanish class if you need it. El proyecto. El proyecto. And you're going to have a project that's going to be due on September 20th. So you'll get information about that. Sacar una buena nota. Sacar una buena nota. To get a good grade. To talk about classroom rules here, and pay attention to this because this is what you're going to be doing in your presentation. A tiempo. A tiempo. So this means on time. So in your presentation, one of the rules you can present is hay que llegar a tiempo a la clase de español. One must arrive on time to the Spanish class. Entregar. Entregar. To turn in. Llegar tarde. Llegar tarde. To arrive late. Se prohíbe llegar tarde a la clase de español. It is forbidden to arrive late to Spanish class. That's another one of the rules that you can have in your presentation. Prestar atención. Prestar atención. La regla. La regla is singular for the rule. Las reglas is plural for the rules. Respetar. Respetar. That is to respect, the actual verb, but respeto is the noun, respect. Se prohíbe. Se prohíbe. It says it's forbidden, or you can see it's prohibited, which if you translate it that way, that's okay. But in your book, it says it's forbidden. So now to name some school objects. El armario. El armario. And you probably remember from Spanish 1, you learned el armario as closet. Yes, it's also closet, but in this chapter, we're using it as locker. El asiento. El asiento. Now, do you remember another word for seat or chair? Yes, silla. So silla is actually chair. Asiento is seat. So your teacher, me, might say, tomen el asiento, no? So take a seat. El carnet de identidad. El carnet de identidad. Some schools that have IDs. La cinta adhesiva. La cinta adhesiva. Remember, the H is silent there. And this is adhesive tape. We just call it tape, but in English, we also call it adhesive tape. La grapadora. La grapadora. Los materiales. Los materiales. Las tijeras. Las tijeras. And now we're going to be going over using negative and affirmative words. So, and I have a chart for you, which I'll give you next week, and I'll send it through the email also. But alguien, that's someone. Algún, alguna, algunas, alguno, algunos. Since this is used as an adjective, then it's going to have to match with gender and number. And that's why you have all those options of some. Nadie. Nadie. No one. Ningún, ninguna, ninguno. So none, no. This is, you'll see on the chart or in your book, it has other meanings also, the same, just different ways of saying it. Conocer. Conocer. That, I imagine you know from Spanish 1, to know. Sobre. Sobre means about, but sometimes sobre, not sometimes, but sobre also has the meaning of envelope. It means envelope and it means about. So this picture might remind you this picture, which is about an envelope. Lo que. Lo que. What? Almorzar. Almorzar. And these are some stem changers that we'll be using in our in our grammar here. So you should be familiar with these words. Empezar. Empezar. To start. Entender. Entender. To understand. Repetir. Repetir. To repeat. All right, that's the vocab. And I'm going to make separate videos for the grammar rules. Okay. Let me